Just let your imagination go. You know, it's fantastic. I get so many letters from young people all across the country that are painting. And painting has opened whole new worlds to them. And it's so wonderful to hear from people. My gosh, some of them 3, 4, 5 years old. Their parents write and tell me that children have taken an interest in it, and they watch the show and they paint. And they've sent me some photographs of some of the things that they're painting. It's unreal. It's unreal. And young people have a better imagination than I do. Well, they can paint some of the most beautiful things.
What makes people good artists?
They keep trying and they don't give up. And if they make mistakes, they don't think mistakes are bad. They're just another stepping stone to success.
Meet Saul, 5th grader, Stranger Things fan, young artist.
Every painting's different, and that's what makes it great.
Scarlett's a 7th grader from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I want to be an artist and an author.
Scarlett makes quilts with her grandma, and she's making a comic book with her cousin.
We got this science stuff from our grandparents for Christmas. It had dyes in it, and they mixed it with water and put it on paper. We had the idea we would make a comic book and add those colors, like color it with that.
Like millions of other kids out there, Saul and Scarlett are just finding their way in life and in pursuing their interests.
We don't make mistakes. We just have happy accidents.
Yep, there are a lot of creative kids out there eager to drag out their paints and their brushes, their colored pencils and their crayons. Lots of them don't need a nudge to make stuff. But when they get that nudge, it could lead them down a path that changes their lives.
Now, you can work on this for as long as you want, and you won't believe what you can do if you'll just try it. You will not believe the effects that you can come up with. You can make some of the most gorgeous things that you've ever seen.
Here's a story about a noble nudge, a friendly competition for young people that's designed to aid a worthy cause. And we'll tell you how our favorite TV painter is at the center of it all.
You know what's so fantastic? I get so many letters from people all over the country that are painting and enjoy success, and it's fantastic, especially from young people. Can't believe the number of young people that are painting, and they have truly found the joy of painting.
Bob Ross brings out the artist in everyone, and his invitation is all-inclusive. Bob welcomes us all, any age, gender, or background, to just give it a try. But he seemed especially happy when it was a young person who got caught up in the joy of painting.
And then we recently did a show in Missouri, and I had a young lady that was 4 years old bring me some paintings. Son of a gun, she was just fantastic. 4 years old, you know, already she's a fantastic painter. By the time she gets my age, 22, she's really going to be something. And if you believe I'm 22, I want to sell you some land in Florida.
Hi there, I'm Blake Roberts. I lead creative development here at Colossal in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Blake Roberts was one of those young people. Blake was making art in college, studying it there too. Recently, he's become an artist of a different sort, creating campaigns and competitions designed to put money into the pockets of worthy charities.
I went to Savannah College of Art and Design and sort of accidentally fell into marketing after that. Honestly, I burnt out on marketing. I was doing it for 10 years, and I found this job listing. It looked too good to be true. It sounded too good to be true, but I said, why not? Let me try for it. It was Colossal. And so let me get back to creation. That's what I was interested in. I want to make things.
Now, you can use any color you want. I just want to make something that's very bright and cheerful today. It's a fantastic day here, and it's nice to do scenes that reflect the way you feel.
At Colossal, the content creation is all about feel-good fundraising.
Last year, we raised over $100 million for our charity partners.
But a guy like Blake knows that it's about more than just the moolah. Maybe that's because his artistic adventures as a young person have given him wisdom.
Even as a little kid, I was creating flip books, comic books, and selling them to classmates. coming up with original characters. And I just always knew, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a Disney animator. That it was going to be that or a trash man. That's what I was excited about when I was a kid.
Garbage? Like
Yes.
collecting trash?
Yes.
Oh,
I was very passionate about it when I was very young.
really?
Yes.
Shoot, when I go home, the only thing I can push around is a garbage cart. There. And I get to do that every Wednesday, come rain or shine. There. That's my job. Garbage sits there and waits on me till I come home. And I don't let it down. I always try to get it out.
I had a toy truck, like a toy garbage truck.
Mhm.
And I loved smashing things in it.
Okay.
And so I knew the schedule, and so I would watch when they would come. And I just was fascinated by it.
Wow.
And you're outside, you get to ride on the back. It just looked like fun.
Foregoing his fancy for trashing and smashing, Blake pursues art instead and receives a degree in illustration from the Savannah College of Art and Design.
I sort of fell in love with portraiture, landscape, definitely more traditional than a lot of my classmates at the time.
Did somebody say landscapes that you can fall in love with?
Something about like so. All right. And you can make it as bright as you want it or as dull as you want it. Now, I like paintings that are quite subdued, very dark. They almost look like traditional paintings sometimes when you do them that way. But it's up to you. Some people like paintings that are very bright and shiny and they make you feel good. So painting is a very individual thing.
Bob Ross he was always there. I'd say there are some people that you grow up with and they just sort of feel like family after a while if you spend enough time with them.
Hi, welcome back. Certainly glad you could join us today. Today I thought we'd just do a fantastic little painting that I believe you'll enjoy. So I tell you what, let's start out and have run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with us. And they'll come across right about there. Come on up here, let me show you what I've got done.
My grandparents would watch it. We would have it on at home in our house. And it just sort of always was therapeutic.
Mountains are one of the most fantastic things to paint.
And watching this sort of flat mountain shape, and then the palette knife comes in, and all of a sudden there's snow and there's texture and dimension. I just always was fascinated by Bob Ross.
Just take our little roll of paint right on here on the edge of the knife and put a little bit of snow right on this mountain. A little touch right there on that little peak. But this painting will give you a lot of practice with a knife and making some beautiful mountains.
Colossal's mission is to inspire people to advocate for themselves and for those in need. I grew up being that person who didn't like public speaking. I don't like being put on the spot. I was always just a nervous kid. And it took me many, many, many years to grow out of that. And some people come in and they're, big energy and they're ready to get out there in front of the world, but many aren't. And so watching people sort of grow within a 5-month campaign is special.
And in one of Colossal's current campaigns, it's young people who are being encouraged to put themselves out there to determine who will be named America's Most Artistic Kid.
If you are between 13 and 17, you can sign up for yourself at artistickid.org. It's free to register. If you are under 13, get your guardian, talk to your parent, have them sign up for you. And then a photo.
There. But see, that easy. You can begin creating illusions of all kinds of little things that are happening in there.
The young artists, they'll get to display their artwork at the Bob Ross exhibit in the Miniaturista Museum.
Not only that, America's Most Artistic Kid will also appear on an episode of The Joy of Painting with Nicholas Hankins and gets to lay eyes on an exclusive painting demo from Nick and from another certified Ross instructor we've been blessed to get to know better.
Talent is a pursued interest. I'm David Arquette. I'm an actor, director, writer, Bozo the Clown.
Wrestler. Keep going.
Wrestler, yeah. I do music.
It's a long business card.
I do art. Certified Bob Ross instructor. The Bob Ross Company is just so great and supportive of the charitable courses that I do. I love that Bob inspired people to do art. It's just so important.
Forget about the pocketbook. It's not important. It's really not important. It's what it does to your heart. It's what it does to your confidence.
Art's so important for kids in their development, in their creativity, releasing stress and anxiety. It's just such a world where we're so tapped into these phones, and the world's coming at us at a very fast pace now. So whenever you can just relax, do some art, be creative.
I get so many letters from people who never believed they could paint or do anything creative like this. And they're having just marvelous success.
In creative spaces, David doesn't just dabble. He was born into a family of actors, artists, and vaudevillians. Growing up in LA, he was a street artist.
For me personally, for my mental health, just being able to do art really does lower the temperature and just kind of gives me an escape in a different direction and really helps ease some of the tension of life.
And let's just have some fun today. Just drag out the old easy chair and get you a big glass of iced tea and kick back and sort of enjoy this.
What he did was made it something that everyone could do. Like, you could learn this technique. You could, get the specific brushes and the specific paints and follow his instruction and then paint something.
If you have your paintbrush out, I invite you to paint along with us, and I think you'll enjoy doing something that's a little different. It's very free, very relaxed, and it gets you over this tightness or this fear of your first painting.
It never gets old for me. It's really fun. The thing that makes Bob the coolest, he is truly himself. Whenever you can be true to yourself and find something that you love and share that love with others, it's a beautiful thing.
David Arquette is equally noteworthy for his authenticity, sharing his passions for painting, acting, wrestling, clowns, and music, in equal measure with his struggles with depression and anxiety. David's, as they say, a real one. It's what makes him an ideal ambassador for this campaign.
And I think it really helps for kids to find themselves and find what's true to them and not beating yourself up. That's been a big lesson for me, and art helps a lot with that.
Take the brush, touch, and just let it go. Let it go wherever you want it to go. See there? Okay. And if it picks up some of this color, that's a plus. Don't get upset about it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Let it happen.
Having your art hung in a museum is a great accomplishment for any artist. If a kid can win this, it'll just give them a real boost into their confidence. And even if you're just entering, like even the process of entering and putting it together, it'll prepare you for when you have to put a whole portfolio together later.
And with experience comes confidence. With confidence, you know you can do anything that you believe you can do.
David's involvement extends beyond artistic encouragement. He employs his fame to give back to those in need, and this Colossal competition is no exception.
For those supporting competitors, it's free to vote once daily. Supporters are also able to make a donation, and every dollar donated is an additional vote cast. We don't expect people to come in and drop $10,000. We're looking to cast a wide net, get as many people involved as we can. We're hoping to raise millions of dollars for Blood Cancer United. That's the goal.
As a pediatric oncologist, I can think of no better way to raise funds and to celebrate patients through an art competition, and just love that Bob Ross Inc. is getting behind this as well. My name is Andy Kolb. I'm the president and CEO of Blood Cancer United. I am a pediatric oncologist by training and have been in this role for a few years now.
Formerly known as the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, Blood Cancer United's mission is to find a cure. And until that time, to improve the quality of life of all patients and their families.
What's interesting about blood cancer, and I think what drew me to this in my training as a pediatric oncologist, is that blood cancers are often where discoveries happen, whether it's chemotherapy or precision medicine or immunotherapies. They're often first tried and first successful in blood cancers.
Blood cancer took Bob from us in 1995, making Colossal's charity partner for this campaign a particularly poignant choice.
If you look at the overall cancer survival rate in the United States, it's gone down pretty much every year since the 90s. This year, American Cancer Society published that survival rates are over 70% for all patients with cancer. A lot of that progress is due to cancer screening and prevention. There's really no effective screening or prevention program for blood cancers. So we put all of our energy into drug discovery and making sure that patients have access to those drugs.
Considering Andy's background inside pediatric hospitals, the art angle here feels close to home.
Some of the kids that I cared for, they're in the hospital for weeks or months on end. And most pediatric hospitals are staffed with art therapists, music therapists, and more craft supplies than you can imagine. And art is such an important outlet for these kids. It's a distraction for their families. It's a way for them to express themselves, express how they're feeling. And it's just a way for them to interact with their environment differently. I mean, invariably their walls are adorned with artwork, their windows are adorned with artwork, and it is a key part of healing, a critical part of healing.
I like skies and seascapes that are very bright and shiny. They just seem to make you feel better. And you can do this several times to achieve a desired brightness. Up to you.
When a kid is going through treatment for cancer, anything that you can do to bring back some normalcy, some means of expression in their day, it's healing. And that's what this is all about.
For Andy Kolb, this isn't just a professional calling. It's a personal one, too. 20 years ago, his wife was diagnosed with lymphoma.
She may never be cured of her lymphoma, but chances are she's not going to die from her lymphoma either, because we are able to take some cancers like lymphoma and some types of leukemia and treat them with medicines that give patients relatively normal lives despite their diagnosis. At Blood Cancer United, we have a bold goal, which is that by 2040, we will enable patients with blood cancer to gain more than 1 million years of life. And that means more moments, more paintings, more opportunities with families, birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, whatever it might be. Yes, cure is the goal, but cure may not be possible for people like my wife, and in which case we're focusing on making sure they've got a long and wonderful life ahead of them. And if you pull that back a little bit and you think about kids, there's no easier way, no faster way to tally up years of life saved than to save a bunch of 2-year-olds or 10-year-olds who are looking at 80, 90 years of life down the road.
On the surface, this is a fun kids competition. Beneath it, a shared mission to improve and prolong lives.
But it's also sobering. You know, lymphoma is one of the more treatable and curable cancers, but a lot of people still succumb to their disease. So it's a reminder that despite all that progress and all the work that we're doing, we got a long way to go. We still have a lot more work to do.
Thanks to the work of Andy, Blake, David, Nick, and the Bob Ross Company, strides have already been made. And encouraging young people to get involved in whatever way provides more hope for the future.
One of the reasons why I love art so much, especially for young people, even if you don't grow up to be a traditional artist, learning how to create from an early age is invaluable. It teaches creative solutions. And for me, that's what's sort of always stuck. I love problems. I love problem solving. It's super creative. If you can do it successfully, it's rewarding.
I think that there's art in everything that we do, and spending my career taking care of children with cancer and helping the families navigate. There's a lot of science there, but there's a lot of art too in how we make decisions, how we interact, how we engage and solve problems that are meaningful for the child, for their families.
And painting offers you freedom. It offers you a world that you can make any way you want. It can be clean and crisp, and sparkle. You can create moods, storms, almighty rivers. Painting offers freedom. Gets you away from the everyday problems. Turns you loose on the world. That may be what attracted me to painting initially. It's the only place I had any power.
And now you have the power, whether you're a parent or a child, a painter or a singer, to help make a difference. Whether you enter, you vote, you donate, or even just spread the word, the search for America's most artistic kid will end not just with one winner, but with many. And the folks involved in putting it together are all connected by one of young artists' most fervent ambassadors.
He just seems like family. He just seems like someone who everyone can connect with. And that's such a rare gift.
Let your imagination take you wherever you want to go. I think that's what's so fantastic about painting is that you can create any kind of world that you want here. It's up to you. There's no boundaries here. It's the reason I have so many young friends that paint. Children have the most fantastic imaginations in the world. They're not restricted. They can do anything.
Enter now to be America's most artistic kid at artistickid.org. And you can vote daily through April 23rd. And oh yeah, in addition to all those cool Bob Ross-related rewards, whoever is crowned the grand prize winner takes home $20,000. And to learn more about Blood Cancer United, or to volunteer or to donate, visit bloodcancerunited.org. The old clock on the wall tells me we've got another finished podcast episode. I want to thank my guests, David Arquette, Andy Kolb, and Blake Roberts. Special thanks to Scarlett and Saul for their contributions.
This is the first time I've done a podcast interview, so
Yeah, well, so this is your first podcast. How do you think you did?
not horrible. I mean,
On a scale of 1 to 10.
8.5 maybe.
That's much better than not horrible. That's exemplary, I would say.
Yeah.
This happy little episode was produced with help from James Shapiro at Jansen Media, and it was mixed by Tom Carcutt at Digital Sound and Video of Daytona Beach, Florida. Support your local public television station and say thanks for giving us Bob Ross and the joy of painting. We'd like to see your paintings. Use hashtag #PaintLikeBobRoss. Bob Ross certified instructors are the only ones that know how to teach you Bob's world-famous painting method. So don't settle for second best. Find a local CRI at bobross.com and then click Take a Class. And if you got your own Bob Ross story to tell, why not leave us a message at 866-FANBRUSH. Or you can email podcast@bobross.com. And you can follow us on Instagram at BobRoss_the Joy of Painting. I'm Ron Scalzo. The Joy of Bob Ross is written and produced by me, Ron Scalzo, in partnership with Bob Ross, Inc. Bob Ross name and images, they're registered trademarks of Bob Ross, Inc.